We're not. You're not.
Back in there, we're talking about big stuff.
That's what I was trying to go. Study it. Sometimes
Somebody's gonna have. I'm just gonna, sure. I mean, that's what yes.
See you.
I would like to have a meeting with you guys so we can talk less. I Well, you know, we're in a bit of a. Yeah. All right, so it is 6 o'clock. I'm gonna go ahead and call it to order. If you could all stand and join in the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Which is all the board. Suzanne Cason here, Brent Moore here, Gary Leonard here, Mike Sweeney
Here.
David Chabot.
Here.
Right. We have the meeting minutes before you. Everyone had a chance to take a look. If you have any questions, comments, or corrections? I think the one thing that you do want to make sure of is that you incorporate by reference a few different emails. I think the emails are not attached to this version, but to the signed version. Hopefully they will be, if you can, we'll go ahead and PDF so we can send them back out so that everybody has the completed version. Sure. I have notes. Okay.
The motion to pass.
The move second.
Second.
Suzanne Case, aye. Brent Moore.
Aye.
Gary Leonard.
Aye.
Mike Sweeney.
Aye.
David Chabot.
Aye.
All right, we have 2 conditional use permits. So, the first that we have up is Mario's Lakeway Lounge, as I understand it, and Janelle, you'll have to help me here. We had approved this a few months ago. This is a request for a revision and. There you go, come on up. You tell us what, the changes that you are requesting.
Actually, it changed before, I got a D license to open up on, about 5:30 to 2:30 nights. That's it was the regular. Then it was going and people sick, we cut hours. And right now, I'm very busy. I try to open up back to the same hours so I have it before.
So you'd like to request an adjustment. We had gone from 6 to 2:30.
Yeah, I have a license, what do we pay, the license?
Your state license.
The liquor
5:30.
license, that's it was before.
Okay, so your permit is requesting 6 AM to 2:30.
Yeah.
Is that what you're requesting?
Yes, that's in,
Okay,
5:30 to 2:30 at nights.
okay, that's not what you wrote on.
Yeah, not that, no, because this before they ask me how many hours we work. And
This is the one you just put in.
maybe I make mistakes. I'm sorry for that.
So
But
you're making the change here tonight to say 5:30 in the morning
yes,
till 2:30.
yes, please. Because before people said we cut an hour, so we
Yeah, I
can work
understand.
that, but now I've been really busy, and the more people is coming. And, I wanna make it, some older people even longer city there.
Okay,
I wanna
so
make it-
essentially what you're asking is that this aligns to your liquor
Yeah.
license. Any other changes? I see a change here in outdoor.
Yeah, he wanted in the previous,
DJ,
you'd want. It was 10 PM, he asked for 11 PM.
I was thinking the reason because park open up to 11 o'clock. If he can get me the DJ, do it like park open up, 1 hour longer, if not. You guys make a decision, I really appreciate it.
Can you tell me, Janelle, what we had approved as his operating hours prior? Because I
Well-
thought it was fairly expanded.
It's very expensive.
Yeah, I think we had gone to something closer to this, but okay.
Thank you,
That's really
thank you, then.
Okay, all right. Any other questions for my?
The DJs were outside, even in the winter time?
No, we not do it here, we like that. Sometime we have somebody if they die, like the bikers or somebody, family or something, somebody they come over some kind of donation, stuff like that. But nobody put it outside the winter time, they put this mostly summertime. And I let people do that, I pay for that, those people, pay, or sometime I do free all that food, like mostly every day I do free food to some people in my bar. I don't.
So you're asking, I'm sorry, you're asking for outdoor entertainment approval until 11 PM.
Yeah, that's the mostly we do when in the
Doesn't matter the reason.
summertime.
That's what you're asking
Yes.
for, in the summertime. So this would not necessarily cover indoor entertainment, which could go through your hours. Okay. Any other clarifying questions?
In my opinion, I think we should limit it to like May till October 1st or something.
Any
Some type of-
questions, and then we'll go ahead and go to discussion. Any further questions for Mario? Okay,
Thank you,
thank you.
Thank you,
Let's
God bless
go
you.
ahead and open this up for discussion.
thank you.
More.
I feel that we should limit the hours, so I know it's not gonna be for the winter time. Say, end of May to, I don't know, September 30th. October 15th, whatever you all think would be right. I just had a problem having it all year round.
Any date and presentation up there.
Say, May 15th to October 15th.
It's 1 month before my birthday.
Any discussion or questions, other thoughts?
How many days a week again?
7 days.
7 days?
So
I try to bring in all the people mostly, 99%.
So I think as well, I would like to limit the days of the week that there could be a DJ. We need to have 7 days a week. I'm also a bit concerned about going to 11 PM, unlike other areas, you're in the middle of a residential district.
I mean, nobody around there,
I'm sorry, sir,
there's
you
nobody,
abut to a set of residences right now. So,
that's
right
all I
behind
know,
you.
the house and
no,
everybody.
I don't care who owns it, that can change. So my proposal would be limit the time of year. We look at, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And, 10 PM. Stay with 10 PM. And I'm happy to take these one at a time as changes.
And you want to do it May 15 to October 15?
Yeah, that's the.
That's the one, okay.
Okay, any other, I'd like to hear some discussion, so I know how to call the question. I can call it by the changes, we have the hours, anybody have a concern about the 5:30 AM to 2:30 AM, which again would be in alignment with the, liquor license. I do think that that was, for example, what we did, if I recall, with Anderson, knowing that their actual hours may be inside that range.
I'm concerned about a noise out there till 11.
Okay.
And these condos will be right next to them, if they go.
Thursday through Saturday to 10 o'clock,
Yeah,
May 15th, October 15th, no problem.
no,
Okay.
I mean, otherwise I can call these one at a time too. All right, so with, I think what we're doing is agreeing to the following adjustments, and then I think the question that I would have as well is, are we resetting this conditional use permit fully? Or is it an amendment to the prior request?
I think we should just leave it. That way. I mean, if it doesn't work out, we can look at it at a sooner time.
So what was the date of that, the one we just approved? And I think it was 5 years, correct? From that, June 5th. So June 5th, and it was 5 years. Okay. So we would look at this as an amendment to the conditional use permit dated June 5th with the following changes. 5:30 AM to 2:30 AM. Outdoor DJ approval, May 15th through October 15th. For outdoor music entertainment. You know, like, so outdoor entertainment from May 15th to October 15th. Restricted to Thursday through Saturday evening, and we aren't with
yeah.
limiting it to 10 PM, which is what the prior permit required. Motion, second.
Also,
Okay. All right, you call the roll.
Suzanne Cason,
Aye.
Brent Moore, Gary Leonard,
Aye.
Mike Sweeney,
Aye.
David Shaboo.
Aye.
All right, thank you.
thank you guys, appreciate it. Yeah. Well, you know, excuse me.
Sure. I think we have now, Ninja Sushi, PTS Ben. And this is for join us here, this is just to, continue the permit that you
Yes.
had had,
Yeah, when you went, yeah.
a renewal. Just a straight renewal. I don't see any additional requests to that. Is this a straight renewal? I do. And how many years is that for? 5 years. 5. Yeah, no.
Sign.
Okay. How are you just? Under 1 day a week, okay, and then close on Monday. All right. So, and I do think as well, any questions for Mr. Schmidt? No, Mr. Moore, I do think you said you took a look at the taxes.
We did, we looked at the taxes that are good, local country, things, department, sales, market, and
Great, thank you. All right, then I would recommend a 5-year renewal, so the same as we had, and can I get a motion for that? Second?
Second.
Yeah, could you call the roll?
Suzanne Kason.
Aye.
Brent Moore. Gary Leonard.
Aye.
Mike Sweeney.
Aye.
David Shaboo.
Aye.
Thank you for operating my favorite restaurant.
I just heard
I love it.
it today.
Thank you. It's good people are leaving the China 7 years.
Yeah. All right, yes, yeah, thank you so much.
Marty, you want your newspapers?
Should I take it? What's up on me and all?
No.
Have a good night, guys.
Thank you.
Would she talk to you?
I don't know, I could go, maybe I will go on all right, we do have old business, for the request of city council on the 14th, Cranes Land Bank, that they come back, that we've had, a number of updates that were discussed, I think, or questioned at least, so I think we have Mr. Summers.
Right here.
Oh, we have your yours.
Oral.
Both of you.
So I'm gonna start, I know we're focusing on the elevation tonight, but I had submitted a letter from the landscape architect. I don't know if it's part of your packet. I'd like to read that real quick just because it kind of ties into the whole goal of the theme for the coastal architecture. So this is in regard to the landscape plan, the overall design aesthetic for the landscape plan, and this is the updated plan that goes along with the updated unit styles. The overall design aesthetic for the landscape in the development is a traditional eastern coastal theme with ornamental grasses, hardy fan palms and evergreen pines to mimic the type of landscape that would be found along the coastal shoreline. The mounded landscape beds incorporate river rock accents to make them feel like something found along or near a shoreline where rounded rocks would wash on shore. The landscape beds would be mounded to mimic a dune landscape and planted with ornamental grasses and pines indicative of what can be seen naturally growing on dunes. In the spring, summer, and fall season, the annuals will provide opportunities for color, while the wispy seed heads of ornamental grasses and showy bark from the river bird will provide winter detail. So that was regarding the landscape plan. Since we were before you guys last time, a big concern was the units, the rear facing the road. We went completely back to the drawing board with the new unit styles. As you can see, from a number of perspectives, I mean, we have staggered roofs to provide some depth and a nicer aesthetic. We had flat roofs before. You can see through the units actually they're staggered too, so they're not all flat fronts. We incorporated some vertical siding into the elevations, nice natural cultured stone that goes along with the coastal themes and, you know, the lighter coastal colors to complement what we're trying to accomplish with the coastal theme. And we think that they look really nice, and we put a lot of effort into trying to accomplish what you guys suggested. excuse me, based on the feedback from you guys, so. With that, I would, ask if you have any questions.
So I want to start out by saying we received this material and certainly these elevations. You know,
Today.
today, I personally have had any time to take a review. I think that's why both in our rules, we ask for these 10 days prior. So, with that, if this group has not had a chance to review, I think we will take that into consideration as well before we go ahead. I mean, you know, 4 hours prior to the meeting is
Unacceptable.
it is unacceptable, and it is frankly against both ordinances and, even sunshine laws within the state, which require that we have things public, so. With that being said, you know, if it is the sense of this group that we would waive that, I think that would be fine, but this does also represent a significant change to what we saw before, and mostly it is in height. I certainly appreciate the initial attempt to go ahead and do, you know, what we had, not even what we requested, frankly, but with what the ordinance requires. For the community requirements, we can still have it towards the front.
We apologize for the time, we tried getting the turnaround as quick as possible.
Yeah.
A lot of work went into it, and we had to go back to the architects and find plans and get them drawn in computer generated renderings. I mean, I was trying to communicate with the mayor and Janelle, and we were pushing as fast as possible to get the info.
Appreciate
But we wanted to show that, you know, we made a strong effort to really try to fulfill what you guys are looking for. And like I said, we think the units look great, and we think it would go along really nicely with the coastal landscape theme. But if you need more time, I understand, but we do apologize, we got it done as fast as we could.
Yeah.
We were only at council, what, 2 weeks ago at the most?
The 14th.
Yeah. So when is the next planning meeting? Is there another one for this month?
Not in December.
No.
Not in December. The next regularly scheduled would be the second
It'd be the eighth, I
Monday.
think.
Is that what it is?
I think
The
it's
first
the-
Monday is the 8th. It's by the 26th.
Oh, January 6th.
So that would be the next. Okay. Any questions or other discussion? I guess the big question I have is, I appreciate these elevations. That is what I was looking at, for with dimensions, although we do not show height overall. Unless it was cut out, and that clearly is an area of concern for us, since there are height limitations. Do you happen to know what that? Or am I missing that?
The unit, these are 35 feet, 7 and 1/8 of an inch. The other ones are 34 foot, 10 inches. And I did talk to the architect, I mean, we could, you know, they could probably find a way to potentially reduce it 7 inches to meet the 35, but we're trying to create, we're trying to just create, you know, when we went back to them, you know, based upon public's feedback, the board's feedback, it really looks nice to have some stagger in the roof lines and not just have long straight roofs. So the 7 inches is just because we, you know, you can see these are not a flat roof like the old building,
Yeah.
which looks a lot nicer, but we're within 8 inches of it.
The only other question I actually have is kind of relates to the landscaping. And I just can't help, again, what I was trying to read. Is there any opportunity to draw out a living space in front of these? I mean, I don't even know what our rules would require. I was thinking of, and I think it was actually, one of our speakers who drew to pull something out that you had done before the last time, where there was at least a sitting area or patio or landscape. It was just to warm it and draw people into the, I think. Welcome, but that's maybe perhaps it's personal preference, and if I owned it, I could put a little
I mean, it's along the road, so
patio out there, yeah. I don't, how close do they sit there?
Well, with
from like.
with the updated unit design, I don't know
Yeah.
if I have the exact dimensions, but we, when we updated, when we went back to the drawing board though. We actually, I believe we increased setback and open space. So they're a little, I believe we're a little further back than we were originally. I can get that. We can get those dimensions, but I don't have the site plan in front of me, I just have the landscape plan.
Wait.
Do we know what the requirement is from the edge of right of way to any type of patio or improvement?
No, that's a good look. Because it does seem like. You know, you had space, for example, for a deck in the last one and planting. Feels like it. Feels like there was a lot more space if I look at this old site plan than there visually looks like here. And so I guess that's part of the question is, have we adjusted this picture, the old one? Yeah,
With this type of landscaping proposal, we have eliminated the bounds.
right, and that's
So-
why it feels like there should be more,
I think there may be
Space
something we
there.
can look at prior and get it to the board prior to, hopefully, in a week or so, probably way prior to the meeting.
I also don't want it to be busy along the main street too, people have random patio furniture and. all-
yeah,
I
that's
just-
why I'm almost thinking.
I'm just picturing if you're driving by in the summer. And you have all types of different, I think it would look better to be cleaner in front and just landscape nicely, that's my opinion. Just because if you had, everybody has different patio furniture and. You know, umbrellas or whatever they have, I just think that could get busy along the main corridor.
Yeah, I guess I was thinking of it before, that's some sort, but you're right, I mean, I hear you, I'm gonna pull my little lawn chair and do some sunbathing right out there, first of all, there's nothing here to be. But. I had to make Brett laugh, I'm sorry, today. But I think that could be, it'd be interesting to see how much space we really have, like that site plan, how much adjusts this, but I guess, do we have that in here? You were looking at something different than I was. There were-
This is the landscape, this is the landscape.
Oh, sorry. I mean, it does seem like there's a significant setback here,
I believe, and I think we
because he's got trees here, so.
increased them. With the new unit, like I believe, I'll get those dimensions.
Then that may be different than this visual, I mean, it may be back even farther, which still could be a little more, and a little softer if I look at this.
Because we have, you know, we'll obviously. We'll have the, you know, the sidewalk that exists now in the public right away. And then if you look at the landscape plan, there's gonna be an internal. Walk network that would connect people to the, you know,
To the west.
the walking path from the road to the main road.
Yeah,
And then you'd have, you know, the internal
yeah,
path
that's nice, the internal landscape.
and front landscaping along the unit, so.
Good. Well, or just maybe even it's the incorporation of some of the additional, not all of the mounding, like we discussed, but some of the additional opportunity in the front.
We would look at that, I just didn't know.
Yeah,
If you guys wanted, I mean, if you wanted it completely shielded,
no, not really completely shielded, but I guess it's just, and it's hard to visually say for me.
no, I
anyway,
understand.
to see the softening of it and the fact that, you know, I mean, I'm envisioning something that at least looks like it's open to the community. You know what I mean? And a porch tells me that, so that's why, all right, thankfully I go back to porch, but having that, so that's my only initial reaction. Anybody else have any initial thoughts? Because I do feel like now we're looking at a little bit of a revised landscape, which makes sense, because we're taking out those berms as well as 3 stories instead of 2. Which still lives within the margin there.
The reason for going from 2-story to 3-story.
We worked with the architecture team and we looked at all and trying to check all the boxes, how do you accomplish rear entry on this type of footprint with functional living space and still check the box with getting the front elevation facing the main road like you guys wanted to see. Honestly, it was more of an architectural decision based upon functional aspects of a plan that would work with the rear load and, you know, fit within all the parameters, so.
Hard to do a garage and much living space on a two-story building like.
Okay.
And I think this also goes a little bit along, but a long ways towards what we heard from both the public and this board and council, and that's everybody liked this coastal plan. And again, the roof lines, I don't know if it's this board that has the right, or the council said they have the right under the PUD to give us that 8-inch allowance, but we would like to keep those roof heights at that and not lower the roofs, just again, we're looking for that coastal height.
The architect just said it would look nicer to maintain the pitch we have and the staggering in the roof lines. I mean, it's 7 inches, but of course, we asked the question, you know, can we be within that, but we probably could flatten them, but I think they do look nicer at the pitches that they're envisioning, so.
Does this redesign add additional, square footage?
I don't have my chart with me.
Or anything you would add?
We were, I believe they're a little bigger.
Still 3 bedroom.
Definitely reduces the ground footprint, so we have more green space.
So it makes your living room a lot bigger. On the second floor. The living room goes
The
from
nice thing too is that
12 to 11 to 20. Here's what it is. That's what this is.
the nice thing too is that, you know, you'd be able to. At least the unit from the corner, take advantage of the view across the park, which is kind of a nice thing. Which we, you know, we talked about with the architecture team, but the plans are really functional and we like the layouts a lot.
Which way does the,
Is what,
well, we're showing an option for a deck here. But I don't see that in any other drawing. Your architectural rendering is showing an option of deck.
oh, that's,
You know, which may or may not be a bad option to come out over the top of a main entrance, but it would be good to see that visually as well.
Yeah, no, that would be.
I mean, it would come out on the street side.
No, it would come, it would be in the rear.
So the living room is over the, but if I look at where the stairs are, right, stairs, nice stack this way, I go lower, upper. Lower, wait, lower, main, upper, so it shows over this. And again, I'm not necessarily opposed to that as an option, it just would be good to see visually what that option would look like on the exterior. Whether it is inward facing or. You see what I'm, everybody else see what I'm looking at? Yeah. Okay. So that would be a request, I think. I would wanna see what that would do visually. Again, it could be an interesting, depending on what the architect comes up with, it could be an interesting option for those who buy early and decide they want that option.
So your request is for a deck option shown?
Well, if it's on the drawing.
When they drew these plans, he put an option for a deck, it says optional. So I don't know, I'd have to get some clarity from their team on it.
Yeah, if they thought that was a good idea, or if it was something they were gonna add. Depending on buyer preference, because I see, like, for example, on the second floor, he adds an optional. Like powder room, and I could, if I'm buying it to have him build it. That might be an upgrade I would wanna do, I would presume the deck might be, if you're gonna offer that and it's gonna affect the exterior, it's something you probably wanna see. So it would be interesting.
I think that would be.
Let us look at that.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, but then, yeah, then it'd come out over the garage,
Yeah, I'll get
Maybe not.
I'll get some clarity.
Yeah, but that would be a good, again, could be a really interesting option to add on either side. I would love to see
I'll get some
the
clarity and
architect's
info for you guys.
thought on that. But no, the option is the door. If it's not the door, then it would be the egress.
But they have it for it to be over.
Yeah. So that's the, oh, I see. So there's two versions, two potential layouts for that street.
Yeah, so the
Three
one,
views.
the sheet that, like these ones are gonna be
Yeah.
Park Avenue and on in the interior of the community.
Oh, these are interior.
Yes, so those elevations will only be offered on the interior of the community,
Got it.
and then just the one building on Park.
But the same elevation in that it's 35. Point whatever.
That one's under the 35. It's like,
Okay.
it's 34, 9 3/4. And the other one's 7 inches. But Those
Okay.
other elevations will not be offered. The ones that are more,
So this is Andrews Lake Shore facing only.
Correct, because
Okay, got it, because of the,
we want the garages on the inside or the
Yeah.
foyer.
okay, now I see what.
Is your other rendering the Park Street?
yeah.
Okay.
Those are only gonna be offered, so you won't see those from the main road.
In the two buildings on the interior or four buildings.
That would be right above the garage door. Is that what-
No, it's the optional deck
Was
that was
only offered on
drawn,
the other
was
side.
only offered on the driftwood, which is the
Andrews
street
Lake Shore.
facing.
The interior buildings, are they gonna be two-story?
They're all gonna be the 3s.
Okay, well, that's fine, you don't.
It's easier to see on these bigger ones. Easier to see them on the big one on board. But I'll get you guys.
So we're really looking here at the land, the updates are the landscape and then the elevation. Along with the revised.
Well, they're really totally different buildings. We're
Yeah.
going from 2-story to 3. We're going to the coastal look. We're going to the higher roof lines.
So
So
it was a complete redesign based upon the feedback from you guys
Yes,
last time.
which I appreciate.
I mean, if we couldn't take. We couldn't take a round peg, fit it in a square, so we just went back to the drawing board and sat down with the architect and said, how do we accomplish this? You know, we really tried to go the extra mile. I mean, these are nicer units, significantly nicer, more dressed up, more stone, nicer materials. I mean, we wanted to come back in here with something that you guys would, you and the public would like and show some effort that we want to get this done and take your feedback and then I think, you know, I think they look really nice and it checks the boxes with that coastal look and feel.
even though we're here tonight, we don't expect a decision. Can we get, is there any other board members and would it be out of the turn to ask the public comment so we know what to come back with?
We can do that. I don't think folks have really had a chance to take a look, but let me start with this group and see if you have any additional asks or requests, and then. Sure.
And we welcome feedback via email after, again, it was a short window.
Absolutely.
And
Any
they
other,
actually said to come back, so.
any other things that
Here's a short window.
see or ask, and then, I will. People can keep comments relatively near, I will ask the public.
Sorry again that we
No,
did
it's
so
all right.
soon.
Hey,
before the
you
meeting.
solicited it, so we're gonna.
No, I
I'm happy to
meant
open it.
the information.
Oh, yeah.
We wouldn't, you know, we wouldn't intentionally send you guys information.
Yeah.
We're just-
And so, but just to reiterate, our deadline, well, I'll look up the actual date, looks like we're gonna have most of it here anyway, but, any other comments? Go ahead.
So, for your next meeting, I'm gonna tell you right now, I came here to vote this down today. Because I am tired of getting stuff piece by piece. Please bring it all, or I will vote no. I wanna see a full packet. I don't wanna get, like you just said, and I understand you're kind of behind the 8 ball on this, but. You know, the rules say 10 days prior, you need to see it those 10 days. Or I'm going to ask the board about that,
Understood.
okay? I mean, this has been going on since 2022.
So you're looking for floor plans, elevations, landscape plans?
The full development.
Full development package. And the elevations are missing on this right now for the roof heights.
For the what?
For the roof height or height of the building, that should be here since it's a total new plan. Okay? Like I said, there's many people out in the audience knew I came in here today to vote this down. But you showing a little bit nicer units and willing to wait one more. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you. What else? Any additional questions, comments, things you'd like to ask?
What price point are we at now?
We're going up.
I mean, we're more square footage of 300, I mean, low 300s.
And again, we're offering some, and we would like to be able to offer some things, as you'll see the notes and study the plans further, or paths or other things. And that probably will typically drive the price up because people tend to take the options. So,
Right, 330 to start.
Could you also include on those, on the floor plan, what the square footage is?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I just wanna make sure that we're prepared and know exactly what, it's been a somewhat confusing, because you guys said, you know, this is going to council, and then we went to council. They said, no, we want you to go back to you guys. So, and then we did have a super short turnaround to have architects draw.
Yeah, and some of that was because between what you had here and what went to council, we had that change, so that is.
We just wanna
but
be
yeah,
prepared.
we're looking at, if you take a look at what's in the development plan section of our code, and I'll make sure Janelle and the mayor can kind of state that out again. You have most of it, right? And we also then at that point probably want the new, I don't know what you call it, the HOA and the conversations we had about, we were having with the law director about the ability to lease and all those conversations. So if we can bake that into that package too, that would be great. But again, another full package. We should actually have enough for every printed for every member of this group.
I'll bring the large copies too. I'll work with you now. I just wanna make sure we're prepared.
Yeah,
'Cause
no problem.
It wasn't, we had good intentions, it just, we were scrambling to have them redesigned.
Holidays.
Well, and this, it was a fair amount of work goes into them redesigning 2 new building types, and we pushed them, and like I said, it wasn't our intention to give you guys a piecemeal submittal, we're trying hard.
so we're gonna ask to be on that meeting, we'll be
Yes.
well prepared. I think with the holidays, the 6th is, if that's your meeting,
It's actually the 8th,
okay? So they could,
the 2024 is the 8th, January 8th is the second Monday, because the first is a holiday.
Yeah, 6 was done.
The 29th would be 10 days prior. December 29th is 10 days prior.
based on the holidays, we're gonna have a goal to get this in the week before
There you
Christmas.
go. Then
And I
you
think basically,
Oh, yes, the certificate of tank removal.
You guys do not have that on
We have
record.
that. Okay, again, if you could include that in the package, that would be great. Anything else that anybody, any comments, I'm gonna open it up here in case anybody has any initial reaction here. All right, if anybody would,
I think
oh,
Just
Sorry.
one thing, like, on the plans, okay, there is. I was just wondering if the street lit, both they drive, and, yeah, thanks.
good. Is there any member of the public who would like to realize you have not seen us? But if you'd like to make a comment or ask a question, we would welcome you. We would welcome you now. Public comment.
Bill Williams,
Thank you, Lord, I think great, huge improvement, thank you. Clearly, there's been listening to the public and the committee and so on. Earl and I got together earlier tonight and looked at a bunch of condos with the so-called nautical theme. And you have captured a lot of that in this rendering. There are two suggestions. I noticed that on the internal buildings, you have a shed roof portico under the door, which is probably where a lot of people will be going in and out. So if you're standing there with your key and straining here, so that's a real plus. So we have functional issues and we have cosmetic issues. That was functional and cosmetic. On the front, which is starting to look pretty good. Two things. One is a ridged portico over the doors. With or without columns, it could be angle braces, because columns add, quite a bit more cost. And normally a landing extension, but a ridged portico over the front would really cap off that look. You give the nice casings and a lentil cap on the doors, excellent. The only thing that really looks bad is that you chopped off the gables flush with the building. Sort of looks like the ship that the people build over on Lost Nation. It's the name of the developer. It does all these cheap things. Yeah, Ryan.
Or the standard, the one on Lake Shore.
Well, Ryan, that developed by the airport on,
So are you referring to the overhang though?
yeah, there is no overhang. These again starts to look like the little Monopoly houses and little rectangles. I realize, yes.
And
they're-
gables?
The end gables. To me, that just looks cheap. And I realize, again, the cost is getting up. And it's a lot easier to set a truss on top of two walls than it is to cantilever it out and then extend the ridge and so on. But with a ridge portico over those doors and the gable extensions on the end of the building, I think you're there. I think you're really, really close. I love the stonework on the first floor, vertical siding as an exit on the third floor. You've done a lot of nice touches there, you really have the mullion windows. And I realize all this does have expense. Frankly, based on what I've seen from other developments going in, I don't think you're gonna have trouble selling these in that price range. I look at the stuff that Jim put in on the corner of Lake Shore and 44, they couldn't build them fast enough. And even the junk that Ryan is putting in on Lost Nation, can't put them up fast enough. I don't know where the people are coming from to buy all this stuff. But there seems to be a hell of a market out there, and I understand that mortgage interest rates have started to come back down already. So this is gonna be, by the time you get these things built, maybe we'll be back to 5 or 6%, and that'll be a big plus too. So anyway, thank you for all the work you're putting in. Please consider those final cosmetic touches. I think it would add an awful lot. Personally, I think you've done that.
I appreciate it, John. Thanks for the feedback.
Thank you, Samantha.
Earl Carter, 7523 Slider Road. Andrea is gonna, this is excellent. You've really made a lot of progress. I appreciate everything you guys are doing. She will send you a rendering update on that for you guys to look at. But some of the design that she thinks could really make it really pop and come alive.
I'm sorry, who are you speaking on behalf of?
Andrea is my wife. She's
okay.
a designer, a professional
Okay.
designer. So what you would do is you would put here and here, you would put a portico. You'd have one going across the window, then go over the door and over here. You don't necessarily have to do these three. That would add additional dimension. And then what you do is you would extend these verticals down here and here and pop this out and extend it down. And then you would have, that would complete the look. And we'll send you a rendering. It's not a big change, but I think you'll notice a significant appearance change.
Dropping those lines like that is gonna get very expensive.
So to drop the verticals?
Very, very. Again, you're talking framing changes, major changes, and we have to keep in mind too, affordability. I mean, or space, we're almost, we're gonna be pushing twice the average sale. A lot of you people live on Salida, I understand it. The average sale in this town is 181.
No, we're pushing the envelope pretty hard.
Would it be doable to put a portico hang over here, though, here and here, at least to give it a little bit of dimension?
I'm gonna talk to the team.
See if that's doable. You see what I'm talking about, just a little bump out.
We'll look at we're gonna take all these suggestions back to the drawing board and evaluate the cost.
It's something like this, very, you see what I'm saying, just a little,
Yeah, a little detail.
and that would just bring it all together. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks.
you.
Thank you.
Jamie 17573 Slider Road. Thank you for incorporating some of what we had talked about on the last discussions we had, the color scheme, incorporating the stone. I think that does look very nice. It is updated compared to what you showed before, that sort of early aughts style. We're past that, we're way past that now. I just, in my opinion, don't feel like there's anything particularly coastal or unique about the way these look. I still think this could be any town USA. I think some of the suggestions that have been made about porticos, porches, actually, and there is a photo I could actually send you that, small, just landings or something outside each of those doors on the street sides lends a little bit more of that uniqueness. Again, I think the aesthetic that we're really pushing is that this corner of the city is really, this Crane's Landing on the lake is really our city image of Mentor on the lake. So as we are trying to distinguish ourselves from the other surrounding communities, anything that can help project that aesthetic, I think would help. The recent news we've had that we may actually at some point be able to develop Mentor Beach Park into something more has actually increased the importance of the appearance of these units, of that street corner. And I know we keep talking about how these design elements will keep pushing the cost up. But frankly, if Mentor Beach Park becomes something much more, the stakes have gone up. This is no longer just sort of a vacant lot in the middle of Mentor on the Lake. It actually has the potential to be something much more, the entire community, the entire corner. And Crane's Landing could really be that anchor to that. That will drive the cost up, but it will drive the demand up for residents who are looking to capture that aesthetic in their home base on the lake. Not living on the lake, but across the street from the lake, across from the park, which maybe could be something more. I mean, this could be a really big deal. I think this also helps, again, promote this aesthetic of on the lake, which will help us attract businesses who are looking to capture that sort of identity for their business, people who want to capitalize on that image. But again, with something that just sort of looks like it could be in Willoughby or Concord or Chardon or anywhere else, it's not really helping us capitalize on our best resource, which is immediately across the street from where this development is. So I really would encourage you guys to think coastal and really try to get that modern on.
Thank you.
Juanita Miller, Salida Road. And I am not a professional architect or anything else. Looking at this, I think it's very nice. Thank you once again. What I would like to see is 2 white Adirondack chairs in front of the main windows. And like you had talked about a little porch, couldn't you just do like a little stone patio, like where those bushes are, where you could just have white Adirondack chairs? I mean, that's what coastal is all about. These people are gonna be looking across the street, they have nowhere to sit. That's what I was, not a deck, but I mean, just a little square
Something
stone
that
patio.
connects you to the outdoors.
And
I
you
think
know, I know
that's
you were-
very doable.
yeah, and I know you were saying about different furnitures and stuff, but I'm sure an HOA can establish, you're only allowed white Adirondack chairs in front of them. You know, that's what I'm saying, I would everything wrong. That's just my opinion, I think it would get.
Thank you.
You need it in the price, right?
Huh? Yeah, okay.
Exactly. Anyone else? Thank you. All right, seeing none, thank you all for your comments. Any further comments here? If not, those of you who did say you had drawings or other materials, visuals, if you could get those either to the mayor, to Janelle, to your council person, whatever email you have, we will certainly make sure the Summers have that. I appreciate your openness to, continuing to kind of work with us and work together and get us something we could at least react to tonight. That was helpful. But I do appreciate that. I think that what I'm hearing now is we are going to table consideration here until, we get the remainder of the detail, until our next scheduled meeting, which is the 8th of January. But thank you very much. Thank you everyone for your comments.
Excuse already been for the last minute.
No problem. Thanks. That is helpful.
Thank you.
Again, any additional comments that you want to make sure the summer group gets, if I could ask, really within 24 hours so that they can do their thing and we can, the holidays pending, we'd like to be able to get this information quickly back to us as possible.
Thank you.
All right, with that, I'm gonna close that, section. We're looking at the report, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, with the passage of the Lake Overlook Beach, the levy, I have been able to fill out paperwork, going to Congressman Dave Joy for grant, and also Dan Troy, our state representative. So both of those requests are in, both of those gentlemen. We'll wait and see if they're gonna be able to get us, additional funding for that. That's my report.
It is, thank you.
I have a question on that report. Don't we have to match those funds to the lady?
Looking at, and Mr. Lunder had a question at the last council meeting, but, Mr. Schick asked a question too. Looking at the ODNR information I got, that seems to be matching funds, not what I've turned into Mr. Troy and Mr. Choi.
Okay, my turn. We're finalizing some ordinances here, trees in the tree lawn, the CRA, PUD for this property. That still needs to be finalized, and the refuge contract and bidding that we're working on right now. The end of the report.
I think the only announcement is just the correction to what we have on the agenda. The 8th is actually a Monday and it's 2024. Be the reason that, that had the issue, so 2024, yeah, the 8th, at 6 p.m. And so we will look forward to getting that agenda out, yeah.
Do you think we can get the news here over with 6 p.m. instead of that?
I called them today.
You did?
I called them today and I got a voicemail, but I asked them to correct that it's typically
Yeah, and so
the
that,
end of the week and then it
thank you
starts
for
at 6.
doing that,
Yes,
but they
thank you.
frankly shouldn't take that from you, they should
Right.
take it only from the city.
Yeah.
So if you could make a note to just be sure that they have updated their file, say, yeah, that would be great. Probably use an old, notice of some sort,
Sometimes they ask.
or, yeah, multiple. All right, and with that, I will make a motion to adjourn, and we will do this by acclamation, all in favor? Aye, opposed? Staying. All right, thank you. Maybe one.
Yeah, they're gonna do the interior, and then like each way.
I know. I know. You're not. We need to.
I got a Thank you.